What's up, everybody? This is Jumpin here, and today this is going to be You Built It, Episode 2. This is going to be Mr. Freeze, which was a really cool idea brought to me by Pop Logger Guru 884977. I don't know how to say the second part of this dude's name. It's LAWRF. I don't know how to say that, but it's like Pop Logger Guru. So, thanks for the idea, dude. And anyway, so this build, I really won't even talk about it much. This is the exact same build for the Cryo Claymore combination with the Human Infiltrator. So, as you can see, I'm just showing it to you just so you know it. But pretty much the whole idea of this build is that it's going to use a Rieger carbine with the Cryo Blast and Cryo Ammo. So, the way you can think of the Rieger carbine is that it's not actually an electrical gun, it's actually going to be a freezing ice gun. Now my equipment is going to be Cryo Rounds 4, Shotgun Rear Lamp 1, Berserker 3, and Shield Power Cells 3. The Shotgun Rear Lamp 1, I am so out of Shotgun Rear Lamps because I use so many different shotguns and stuff that it's a shame. But yeah, I'm like totally out of shotgun amps. Anyway though, let me talk a little bit about this build now. Now this build it sounded like a really cool idea. I really like the idea. And I wanted to try it because a lot of people have actually told me that, yeah, try out the Rieger carbine cryo ammo on the Human Infiltrator. It's really, really good. And I tried it, and I do have to admit one thing, is that I'm not a big fan of this build, to be honest, unfortunately. The main reason why is because I just don't think the cryo ammo is actually, I think cryo ammo is like the worst ammo in the game. I just don't like it. The whole idea of freezing enemies is cool, but it just doesn't work well for me. One thing that I noticed about it, which I'm not too sure about this, but I really think this, is that I think cryo ammo lowers the damage on your gun to some extent. It freezes the enemies, and I think it might weaken armor if you shoot an enemy, like an armored enemy, with it. But overall, I think it just takes like, I think it actually takes like about 10 to 15% damage off the gun itself, and that's a shame if that's the case. Now, my only beef with this build is that this would work probably a lot better if you just used something like warp ammo, or if you used incendiary ammo, something along those lines. Like this would definitely work a lot better that way. But because it's the whole Mr. Freeze theme and idea, you have to use cryo ammo. Now, one thing too I wanted to say about this series, You Built It, guys. We got to get past this whole theme idea. I don't really, it seemed, every comment for the last video, which by the way, if you guys want your build shown in the next video, make sure to comment with your build and list everything about it. And I will look through all the comments, which I did, and anything I find that I think sounds really cool. I thought this was one of the coolest sounding ideas. The only downside was that it uses the Rieger carbine, and in the last episode it was another Rieger carbine, and kind of the same idea. It's just like the two opposites. The last one was a Gef Pyro with a flamethrower, and this one is Mr. Freeze with a ice shooting laser gun or whatever. But yeah, so that's my only concern, is that I want to get past this whole thing of I think that you guys think way too much that this is a theme-based series, which it's not. This is a build-based series. It's all about your personal builds. It's not like oh, you have to come up with a Mr. Freeze or the Gef Pyro or this or this or that. It's not like that, guys. It's like everyone just when they leave a comment, they say, oh, here's the Krogan Warlord, and it's like that's really not what my intentions on this idea was. That I would just take a build of yours, like this. It could be as simple as here, my Batarian Sentinel build. I use this with this gun, and there you go. That was kind of the idea. Was just not a theme based, like, oh, we're gonna make the Cerberus Nemesis. You know, like I said, it's just that's where I kind of want. I kind of want to see this series get away from that a little bit. Not saying that if there's a really cool idea out there, I wouldn't do it. But I'm just saying that you don't have to think about things. You just need to just list the build that you like, that you use. I'm assuming that I guess too many of you guys out there just use a lot of my builds or something, because it just seems like most people don't actually have like their own builds that they want to list, and they just kind of like come up with an idea, like a theme, like a Mr. Freeze idea or a Batman idea or Superman or Superwoman, or it's just there's so many of those. Like almost almost every comment was some type of theme. And the other thing too, guys, this is a build base. This is a build series, so it's all about using different builds, not using themes. In the sense, well, you might get a little confused from that, but I mean, I don't want comments saying things like the Shepherd Squad idea. That's an interesting idea, but it's not a build. If the build revolves around me just personally picking what I want on the build, I don't really want that either. Like, this was one of those builds. It was just Rieger Carbine on the Human Infiltrator. Nothing listed about the build itself. Nothing saying you should do it this way or that way. Now right here we're gonna have some serious issues we've been having, if you've been paying attention at all, which you might not have because I haven't have. Is that my buddy Chocolate Milk is going to have a really terrible game, mainly because he lagged out, then he came back and he couldn't load into the game, so he had to quit. Then he comes back and I think he leaves. I don't know. He was not in this game for the majority of it because he kept lagging out. So that is a shame, but it's really whatever. Like, the main thing about this build though, guys, the main thing I don't like about it, like I said, is that I just feel like it could be so much better if you just used it a little bit different. Like, if you just, it's a pretty consistent idea. Rieger Carbine on any infiltrator is a good idea. And this guy with all his buffs that he gets to, or well, debuff that he has from Cryoblast, with the debuff that he gets, you'll just be able to wreck enemies really quickly. The only downside is, for some reason, when I put the cryo ammo on this guy, it just feels like I lose a lot of damage, and it takes a lot longer to kill people. And I've tried this with using higher level shotgun rail amps as well. Even though in this particular gameplay I was using only a shotgun rail amp 1, I've used this with shotgun rail amp 3, and I've used this with shotgun rail amp 2. So, and in all those cases, I just felt a little bit like I was losing damage. I was losing power somehow. And I think it's from I really do think it's from the cryo ammo. So, alright, that's my only beef with it. But overall, it is a pretty cool idea. It is a pretty funny idea too. And like I said, the main thing, guys, if you're going to comment and you're going to try to give me a build, I just really would love just a build of yours. Like, I came up with the idea because I've had so many people send me messages with build ideas, but it's their build ideas. It's never like a theme, like, here's my Batarian Sentinel, or here's my Krogan Soldier build. They just give me their build, and I always assumed they just thought maybe I would try it and put it in a video or something, and I just wanted to take that idea and make it into like some type of series to involve you guys more. And it's just that, like I said, the only downside is it seems like way too many people are just commenting themes and not even builds. Like a lot of the themes are like, do 4 Krogan. Like, how is that? Like, that's not gonna happen, because that's not a part of the series. That's not the idea of the series, is to do something like, oh, you guys should do all Krogans on this map. No, that's a theme. That's a theme video, not an actual build. So that's the thing, guys. So that's my main concern. That's my main issue I'm having. And at this point in this gameplay, we're still waiting for Chocolate to come back. And the downside right here is that these guys are just totally freaking screwed. They just keep getting each other up and keep getting mowed down by the turret and everything else. So I'm gonna try to help them, and it's just not gonna work out good, just because we're just surrounded. We are just surrounded right now. Now, I'm gonna try to kill some of these enemies before I attempt to get Drew, but unfortunately, this guy we were playing with from the clan, he just went to, I don't know why he did that. Like, never do that, guys. Because if you're gonna try to pick someone, let's say you're weak as hell, because that's what it was. He was probably already weak as hell, and he decided, hey, I'm going to run over there to try to pick him up. although there's all these enemies shooting me, you should never pick people up when there's too many enemies around you, and especially when you're already weak. They have plenty of time to tap the button, so you should definitely focus on trying to take out the enemies, because if you run over there and you go down, and then you force someone else to run over there to try to pick you all up, and then that person goes down, and in that case it was me. So all three of us was down. Chocolate is down in this game because he's lagging out like crazy. And we were all, it went from just one person like Drew using a metagel to all three of us having to use a metagel, because that's the only way to ever really reset the fact that all your teammates go down. If your whole squad goes down, everyone should just use a metagel, because you don't want one person to use it and try to get another person to go down. That's just not going to work. It never works out good when that happens. But anyway, like I said before, overall though, what do I think of this build? I'm not a big fan of it, honestly. I think that it would have worked a lot better with different ammo type or something. But and the main thing is this: I just felt like I could not play good with this. Maybe that was it. Maybe I just wasn't playing with it right. But I just felt like I just couldn't play right with it. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel like I was playing as good as I could. Now, some of you guys might say, and it probably for the most part is somewhat true, is that, well, I have been playing Skyrim like crazy lately, so there is a good chance that that was an issue as well, as I'm just not really warmed up to Mass Effect right now. And that's just how it goes. Like, I mean, Mass Effect is just like riding a bike to me. It takes me like a game to get warmed back up to it. But I mean, I haven't really played Mass Effect a lot in about 2 weeks. So I mean, I'm gonna start playing Mass Effect again, guys. I'm gonna continue to upload videos and stuff. But right now I'm done with the whole I'm totally done with Skyrim. When it comes down to videos, like there's nothing else I'm gonna be uploading for Skyrim. So because of that, I will be able to do more Mass Effect stuff, and we'll just have to see what happens. That's the main thing. I can't really promise you like what I'm gonna be coming out with, but there will be definitely some stuff I will be doing. So besides the fact that you want to list in this video your builds for the next episode, make sure if you guys have any ideas or any other builds of mine you might want to see, like a good example, let's say a human sentinel or something like that. If you want to see something like that, yeah, just leave a comment and let me know. Because I do also need help when it comes down to ideas for either coming out with build videos or just videos in general. Like that's my main issue, honestly. That is definitely my main issue, is I just don't know exactly. It's not easy to come out with a video every single day and run. You just kind of run out of things you want to do. Like at this point, everything that I've ever really wanted to do for Mass Effect and put on YouTube to show you guys, I pretty much have done that. So if there's anything left, like which there's plenty of stuff left. I mean, there's a ton of things I could be doing. It's just that I need you guys to tell me what it is that you want to see, because like I said, my biggest issue for the most part is the fact that even though I've done everything I wanted to do, there's stuff that I probably wouldn't want to do, but I would do it still. Like there's certain characters in the game that I just don't like that much. You guys know that. Like the Krogans outside of the Vanguard or the Battlemaster. I don't like the Krogans, so I don't really use them much. Human Sentinel, I've never done that. And right here, I don't know how I didn't die. It felt like I was getting shot by everything, and I had one sliver of health, and I don't know how I didn't. I had like God mode for a second or something. But anyway, like I was saying, that's the main thing. So if you guys have anything you want to see, and anything that I don't really use, probably if you haven't seen me ever use something, more likely I don't like it. That's the main thing. And the only time I ever really come out with a video about it is when you guys like pretty much tell me, you just comment like crazy about, oh, we really want to see this. And if you guys do that, then I'm always like, alright, well then I definitely need to come out with a video about that. Because, and a good example of that would be the Quarian engineer female. I hate the Quarian engineer female, and that right there was a kind of whatever rocket. but it doesn't really matter. But anyway, like I said, I hate the Korean female engineer. So because of that, like I didn't want to ever play with that. I didn't want to ever like put out a gameplay with that, but I did put out, the one I did put out I thought was really awesome. So even though that we didn't even beat it, like we ended up failing that mission, but still, it still was a really great gameplay and was really fun to do. So that's a good example. There's things like that in the game where it's been the YouTube viewers, it's been you guys who have made me, for the most part, come out with videos like that, and then they turn out to be awesome. So that's just the thing. So it's like I said, so that's what I really want. Besides the fact I want you guys to comment and tell me your build ideas, and try now. You don't have to avoid themes, but try to avoid them for the most part. Like for the builds, that is. Like if you have an idea for something, like let's say it is just a Krogan warlord, and that's just what you're calling it. But see, here's the downside: is a lot of people, when they say that, they'll say, "Oh, here's my Rex, the Rex build, and don't use charge on the Battle Master." Well, that's kind of ridiculous and stupid. Like that's a build that you come up with just thinking about it. Like it wasn't actually a build that you used. You know, that's my concern. Is that the idea of this series is that it's your guys' actual builds, not your ideas for themes that you just want to see me use. So that's my main point in this commentary, and I really hope you guys understand that. And I mean, maybe in the future, or maybe I would be down to do some stuff like that. But it's just one of those things. Like, do you really think that, like, would a person really use a Krogan Battlemaster without charge on them? Like, I just don't see it. I just don't see that happening. Even if you were a big fan of Rex, because I love Rex, but when I'm gonna play with a Krogan Battlemaster, I'm gonna play with it the right way, or at least I'm gonna have charge on it. I mean, come on, it's a Vanguard, why not? So that's my main thing, guys. So try to keep that in mind, and try to, but definitely comment. And then the other thing, of course, which I talked about for so long, which was a good point, was that, yeah, anything that you guys want to see from me outside of this series, just totally outside of this series, just whatever it is, if it was whatever video idea you might have, or just builds you want to see, or whatever it is, just leave a comment and let me know, and I will check it out. But yeah, but mainly the main best news for all you guys, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are gonna be happy about, is the fact that I am done putting out videos for Skyrim. I'm not done playing it. I'm having a lot of fun still playing it. Like, I started a new person on there, and I'm just kind of goofing around with it. But that's the thing. Like, I'm still having fun playing it. But eventually here, and right here, this is so stupid. Oh, God, man. I hate that. Atlases they just screw you up, man. They really can. Like, the way that they can hit you sometimes from different angles is so ridiculous. And that was a good example. And once again, Chocolate's going to make a bad decision. That's just something you don't want to do, guys. Just don't do that. Because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get him up. Like, in positions like that, you just can't do it. Especially once you're hit, like, with a rocket or something and you get knocked off of somebody, you just got to give up on it. Just, you run away from him and say, hey, man, just get up. I can't do it. I can't help you. That's something you gotta realize, that can, like, cost you a lot. You don't ever want to have to use 2 Metagels. It's always better to let one person on your squad use 1 Metagel than for you to use, or than for 2 people on your squad to use 1 Metagel, which is 2 Metagels from the squad. That's how people end up failing missions, for the most part. Besides the fact that there's always that chance of everyone getting grabbed and everyone getting assassinated, because that does happen. Besides that, there's always that chance that everyone's just going to go down way too much, and everyone's going to have to use all their Metagels, and then let's say on the later waves, 2 people get stabbed, or 2 people get grabbed, and it's just 2 left, but those 2 people who are left only have 1 Metagel or no Metagels, and they have to clutch it out, and if they die, it's over. And that just happens way too much in gold games. So when it comes down to helping your teammates, which you should always try to help your teammates, but when it comes down to helping them, you just got to be able to get them up in the right time. Like, you got to time it right. You got to know how to do it right. Otherwise, you can cost your team a lot. Now right here, this is really ridiculous. Like, there's gonna be a couple moments like this where it's phantoms. They just can infuriate me sometimes. And in this gameplay, they were for the most part. They're just annoying. They really are. Right here, Iron Man's gonna get stabbed, unfortunately. But it's kind of funny we're playing with Iron Man and I'm Mr. Freeze. Like, that's a good example right there. Any other build with the rear carbine probably would have been able to take that turret out. But for some reason, I think it's because of the cryo ammo, I was not able to kill that thing. And that's crazy because, like I said, I've played with so many different stuff, and for the most part, I've been able to. Well, this gun can normally take out a turret in one clip, especially when it's not even like at full health and shields. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep getting dropped right here. We're kind of surrounded by a ton of enemies, and for some reason, all of them are shooting me. So, what are you gonna do? It doesn't really matter. So, anyway, guys, like I said, though, this is a fun idea. The build itself, though, if you just ignore the whole Mr. Freeze idea, you're like, alright, Mr. Freeze, whatever, that's stupid. If you just ignore that aspect of it, and right here, I'm really screwed. I'm really screwed. I'm just surrounded by everything. But if you just ignore that whole aspect of it, and now a phantom's coming up on me, yeah, I'm dead. But anyway, if you just ignore the aspect of Mr. Freeze, and you just decide, okay, I'm going to take the Cryo Claymore build for the Human Infiltrator, and I'm going to put a Rieger Carbine on it, and I'm just going to play with it like that. And if you're going to do that, maybe put Incinerating Rounds 4 on it, and whatever. This would be a lot better. The only two downsides to this, it's kind of like the Geth Infiltrator, where, well, the one with the Rieger Carbine. If you ever want to try a Geth Infiltrator with Rieger Carbine, you're gonna face the same problem as you will with this guy. They're squishy. They're squishy. They're just very squishy. And when you have to run so close to the enemies to shoot them, that's really dangerous. Like, a good example is a Geth Pyro. If you run up to a Geth Pyro and you have to shoot him with the rear carbine at the range of which he can shoot you, and you're like the infiltrator or the human here, if you're one of these squishy people, yeah, if he starts to shoot you, you're probably gonna die, unfortunately. Like, so that's your main thing. Now, right here, I was thinking about using a rocket, but it really wasn't worth it. So, like, I just decided to run away and run. When you pull out your rockets and then you run into enemies like one Phantom, you just gotta run from them, and so that you can switch weapons. You just don't want to like stare at them and be like, "Hey, how you doing? Duh, I gotta switch my gun." If you do that, if you take that much time to switch your gun, yeah, you're gonna die more than likely. So you just need to run like hell to get to a position where you can actually switch up and run back and kill them. So yeah. Anyway, Mr. Freeze is cool. Like I said, overall, if you wanted to use a build like this, or really, this is just putting the gun on this guy, it would work very well. The main thing, though, that you would have to do and have to think about is just not avoiding. Like I said, I just don't like cryo ammo on anything, honestly. The only thing I think cryo ammo can work well on is the Falcon and the Scorpion, which I really don't ever use those guns. So that's my only concern, and I really don't even like the cryo ammo too much on the Falcon. So that's something else. Like, to be honest, like, I just don't really like it. All right, so we just got the objective, and now we just gotta do some cleanup. Now, oh yeah, right there earlier when you see me kill that Atlas, I don't know who killed it. Was it me or my buddy Chocolate? But when you seen us fighting that Atlas, I was just trying to weaken it so that when the round was over, I could kill it. And that's something that's really good, important. Like, when you know the round's about to be over, like the guy has the pizza, he's about to deliver it. When you know he's gonna do it, like when he's close to it, you know he's gonna make it. So the best thing to do is to try to weaken the bosses, just to get them really weak, so that when the money pops up, you can kill them and just save you a lot of time and a lot of hassle. If you kill them before they score it, the boss is just gonna respawn. And when Chocolate killed that thing, I was like, dude, you're an idiot, bro. I was just trying to weaken it. I mean, he didn't know, it wasn't really like a big deal. It wasn't really his fault or anything, but yeah, it was just something you want to avoid. All right, anyway, guys, like I said, make sure to comment. This is going to be the extraction wave. This is going to be pretty much the end here. So make sure that you comment. Make sure that you tell me everything that you want to know and everything you want to see from either me or from your build or whatever it is. Just be sure to comment. And yeah, that's just gonna be like about the end. So I'm actually gonna end my commentary here just because I really am tired of talking at this point. So I'm gonna leave you with something very special. So I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, peace out, guys.
Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming. Allow me to break the ice. You're not sending me to the cooler. Freeze well. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Stay cool, bird boy. Let's kick some ice.
Show some mercy.
I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy. All right, everyone. Chill. It's a cold town. Cool party. Can you be cold, Batman? Chill to perfection. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Winter has come at last. Freeze. Freeze! Ice, freeze! Icy winter forever! Frozen, icy, freeze! Winter ice. Ice, freeze, winter, winter! Freeze, cold, frosty! Freeze. Freeze! Ice, freeze! Icy winter forever! Frozen, icy, freeze! Winter ice. Ice, freeze, winter, winter! Freeze, cold, frosty!